year ago. They bring in Stephon Diggs. They have all these exciting pieces. Nico Collins and the CJ Stroud experience. Great connection. Tank Dell is also exploding onto the scene. They bring in Joe Mixon. They have all these good pieces. It was a very weird season for the Houston Texans, to say the least. A lot of ups and downs. They squeezed into the playoffs, though. Number 4 seed, AFC South champions, winning their game against, I don't even know who they faced in the playoffs. Now I'm drawing a blank. Do you remember? So it's Steelers, Broncos, wild card.
Chargers?
It was the Chargers. Yeah, Chargers imploded. Texans in their 4:30 p.m. slot on Saturdays. As always, they find their way through. They go to the Chiefs. Obviously, fell short against the Chiefs. Obviously, depending on who you call for, they could say something's going on with it, the whole 10 yards. But the third year of CJ Stroud following his sophomore slump last year, he's looking to make some sound waves and be the quarterback the Texans envision him to be. To the offense, a lot of new faces, new places. They trade Laramie Tunsil. They ship him up to the NFC East, the Commanders. Kenyon Green goes to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for CJ Gardner-Johnson, who we'll talk about in a couple minutes. A lot of new pieces. Tank Dell obviously saw on the depth chart. I don't think he ends up playing this year. Very unfortunate knee injury a couple days before Christmas. Ended up staying in Kansas City for a little bit, recovering from surgery. Just an absolute explosion of that knee. But they do draft Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. They trade a 7th-round pick for Christian Kirk. Oh, my Lord. I had a Will moment there. Jalen Nolan, round 3. Justin Watson, who you know from the Chiefs, made some explosive plays as like that tight end 2, wide receiver 5 kind of deal. But they revamped the offensive line after ended up shipping everyone away. Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, they acquire a new right tackle in the draft. Joe Mixon dealing with a foot injury. So obviously there's a lot of not positive news there for Joe Mixon and the Joe Mixon camp. But they do get Nick Chubb, who, hey, if Joe Mixon can't go through, Nick Chubb can slide in, do all that stuff. They really replenished the offensive line. Trent Brown comes in from Cincinnati, really depthful pieces. Jake Andrews from the Patriots. They trade for Ed Ingram from the Minnesota Vikings. I'm excited for this offense. I am.
2 fullbacks.
Obviously, one person not going to make it. Beck, their fullback, he ended up going to the Jets. So trying to find the replacement there at fullback.
Tell you what, for a team, this is kind of wild. I don't know what to say. So, right, we got what we got last year after saying, damn, like this is going to be such an elite team. Look what CJ Stroud did in just his rookie season. Like, I invested way too much into them because I said that he would be like elite and they would be sick and they'd be a top force. We got nothing of what we got from his rookie season. That was really tough. And we can say we've been just summing it up as like, oh, sophomore slump. Excuse. No, like, sophomore slump, whatever. He's fine. I don't know though, because what happens if they come out and
they fired the offensive coordinator after 2 years? It was kind of a shock because like guy got head coaching interviews with like the Commanders and the Jets and like all that stuff, and it just like they just outright dropped them. And D'Amico Ryan starting from scratch at the offensive side. But there is a lot of good hope there for Jaden Higgins. He's been making a lot of plays in training camp, a lot of good positive vibes. Yeah.
I mean, this is a good offense. Dudes on
I just don't like the complete overhaul of this offensive line. Like Stroud was killed last year, and they just decided, oh yeah, we're gonna trade away Tunsil, who's like our best piece. Ended up, fleecing the Dolphins for him, and then they just end up redoing everything.
Yeah.
Here we go. CJ Stroud, 4,000 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 13 INTs, 200 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm okay with that. I vibe with it.
I think Nick Chubb being there is cool. Like, even if they get extremely average Nick Chubb, it's still a good run game. That's something that they could rely on. That's cool. Wow, all right. Damian Pierce is still there. So like, they have dudes.
They hate Damian Pierce though.
They have guys there. This is a deep wide receiver room, which we saw last year didn't mean shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I want to see John Mechie. Like, let's get him involved. Like, second round pick, a lot of hype. Obviously, the cancer thing. He came back, and I would love to see a good part of the story where it's like, okay, hey, he could be a wide receiver too. Maybe he could be the slot guy on this team. Like, I want to see a good story with him.
I agree, and like, there's dudes everywhere. Irv Smith Jr. as the third string tight end is pretty solid. Like, there's so it's a third string. I mean,
Brevin Jordan. I didn't update this one, but Brevin Jordan IR knee injury, so he's out for the entire year. But hey, Cade Stover, let's not forget he massages the cows. Don't see that joke again, Dom, like you did last year.
I don't remember what I said last year.
No, not the only massage that happened in Houston.
Yeah, well, that's funny. Because what happens? So if they come out and they're not good, they're not up to what we saw his rookie year. Does D'Amico Ryans, is he now in the hot seat?
No, I don't think he's on the hot seat. Obviously, like, you made the playoffs 2 years in a row. You won playoff games at home. So it's like, you're not really on the hot seat, but it's like, okay, like you got to figure out, okay, is it an offensive scheme with Stroud, or is it just Stroud himself that is like the degrading of play?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you don't think he's going to be in the hot seat, I'm okay with
that. Hey, like obviously that would have to be like an ownership thing or a GM thing from Caserio being like, okay, like, this guy got to go. What, Slowick? I think that the offensive guy of last year. So that had to have been like an ownership thing, a GM thing. So like these were all his guys, and they were probably all a part of like that Niners crew. So let's I'm gonna shift us over to the defensive side of the football. Oh, that's the schedule side. There's the defensive side. As we mentioned before, CJ Gardner-Johnson, he did have a knee injury. It was thought to be a torn ACL. And ends up not. He could be on his way to playing week 1. Jimmy Ward's dealing with injury. They bring in Jalen Mills to kind of bolster that safety tandem. Man, I don't really know. Jalen Petre's still there. Lassinger's still there. Derek Stingley, he's making the big money there from that 2022 draft class. Man, Henry To'o. I'm just trying to get excited, man. Like, I don't know. There's just something about this defense that's just not sitting right with me, and I can't put a finger on it. I really can't. Like, yeah, Daniil Hunter, he got another extension with the Texans. I think it's another year, like fully guaranteed. Will Anderson's still there. I don't know. I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying to get excited, but I really think this could be like a very middle of the road defense. Nothing's popping out. Nothing's popping out with me.
They had a decent defense last year, actually, to be honest. Tell you what, man, did they let up yards in the playoffs? Holy, that is.
I mean, listen, when Ladd McConkey gets 200 yards receiving against you, obviously you're letting up yards in the playoffs, but like they still ended up winning.
Yeah, but oh, wait. Sorry, wrong team. That was the Broncos. All right. They actually did not let up that many yards in the playoffs.
Okay, there we go.
The Broncos let up 471 yards in that game. That's crazy, dude. No, the Texans averaged like 236. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. This will be like you would think this is a decent defense. That's the issue, is you would think. And then they're not like top ever. But they're not bad. They're not bad. I think they're competent. Like, this is they made some explosive plays. Stingley's great. Petrie was great. Alshier's fantastic. Daniil Hunter, you'd think does a little bit more, but whatever. Obviously, Will Anderson was great. I don't think Sheldon Rankins is that bad, so that's solid.
It's not like, listen, he was okay with the Bengals, but obviously that Bengals defense was abysmal. So obviously, I think D'Amico Ryan could get a lot more out of him. So
Tell you what, that Jaguars dude on the current roster,
yeah,
he's not injured. So there's that. But
yeah.
yeah, it's wow. This one's so much different. Mario Edwards, that's wild. Yeah.
Derek Brown on waivers, like.
Listen, I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's really hard to judge this team. It really is. Because
I just can't put my finger on this defense. Like, there's just something that doesn't sit right with me, and I can't figure it out. I just can't. Let's shift over. Final part here. Schedule.
Let's look at the schedule.
All right, schedule. Week 1, obviously, the Rams in SoFi. That is a big battle going against potentially Matthew Stafford, maybe Jimmy G. Who knows what goes on with the Rams? But then you get home week 2, Tampa Bay. You obviously still have that sour. No, you don't have that sour taste in your mouth. You beat Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield had a game of his career, and then CJ Stroud said, "I'm gonna one up you and have the best rookie game ever." That's what he did. Looking through it, like a lot of playoff teams. You have 3 before the bye. Then you obviously are playing a year ago 10-win Seahawk team, Niners team, which can probably be going back to their old ways. But 3 home games in a row is really good for you right in the middle of the season. But prime time Thursday night in Buffalo, right before Thanksgiving, that's going to be tough. Chiefs still. I can have 10 wins, but I'm having a really tough time finding 10.
I agree with that. That's exactly how I feel. Is I'm like hitting a wall trying to find 10 like legitimate wins, but they could do it if they look good. Like I really think that week 1 game is going to mean everything in the world. I think they need to come out. I think CJ Stroud needs to ball out that game and be like, I spent the whole offseason hearing sophomore slump, and that's all it was, and I'm back. Like, here we are. They need to show up in that week 1 game. That is everything. If they don't show up in that week 1 game, I'm like, all right, cool, 8 wins. I can't. We're done here. If they show up and CJ Stroud balls out and it looks like this team is back on track and it looks like they discounted last year and just said it was off year, cool, whatever, then, man, maybe, this is the guaranteed winner of the division and they put up double-digit wins again and we're happy. But I really do think that week 1 game against the Rams are going to mean everything.
Well said. It's either Matthew Stafford or Jimmy G.
And you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to them. They just got to win. That's it. They got to come out, play real ball again.
What will make this team successful?
I think if we could truly say CJ Stroud had a sophomore slump and that is all it is, and that's just the excuse for what last season was, and that's that. If we could put that behind us because they came out this year and played better than they ever played last year, I would call that successful, because in turn, you're going to get a playoff team out of this. This team's going to compete. Hopefully you win a playoff game, but like, as long as we're back on track and we can look to the year after to say, this is another force in the AFC for years to come, then I think we're back. We're here. This is a successful season again, and D'Amico Ryan's 3rd season on this team is a successful one, and we're just here. So I that's what makes this successful. I don't really need results. I just need to see the team we saw CJ Stroud's rookie year.
Yeah, you just got to see Stroud return the form.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Because we were saying, and everyone was saying, hey, dude, you got the Chiefs, you got the Bengals, you got the Texans, you got so you were saying AFC, here are the Bills, here are the teams, they're the forces. The Texans are now one of them. And then they came out and played flat last year. Mm-hmm. So if we get back to the notion of this is an AFC force every year coming up in the future thing, like, then that's where we need to be. And I think we all want that. So
Damn straight.
especially in a really kind of a stale AFC where we've just kind of been seeing the same teams since COVID started. So it'd be kind of nice to see the Texans come out and be a fresh team on the scene again. I think we'd all be I think the world would be psyched about that.